2. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the outstanding This is Not a Podcast, Dummies, with your host, DJ Verm'S, and the co-host, with Kipper and Minnie Pie, special guest. Here once again, this is not a podcast. TBS podcast. Different topics. And the silly questions of DJ Verm'S. Come join. This is not a podcast, dummies. Right now on Verm'S Radio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are at moment of a brand new day in broadcast. Yes. We're a little late. We're not used to this time zone, ain't it? We are not used to this time zone.
Oh, what'd you say?
Yeah, that's it. I know, you just woke up again. You like to take a little nap, ain't you?
Yep.
So, how are you doing today, Twit? Because we know we are missing Miss Pickety Pie and Akai, who surely has forgotten that it's our podcast from 9 till 10:30. But we're there. Me and you, we're alert. We're there. And so, how's everything going around your place, Twit?
It's going good. An admin likes to keep playing around with my heartstrings.
Oh, yeah?
So I play a bit of Space Engineers, and I joined the server that's rover only, which means that they disabled all the thruster engines, so you can't do space stuff.
Okay.
And today, they decided, hey, we're going to reset our map 5 times.
Oh, Akai's there. I think Akai's there.
No, he's not online.
No, he's not on. Okay, he's not on. No, he just left me a little message. That's why. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah. So, hey, I want to know, is that the game that you showed me the other time live when we were doing a broadcast?
I think so. If you want, I can share it again.
But is that's a spaceship, eh? That you built and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, that was really interesting. Really good, nice tour that you gave me that night. Give me a second. I'm just trying to find you. Where are you? Where are you? I lost you.
I'm in podcast.
There you're there. There you're there. You are there. Okay, so yeah, so we had that that tour that you gave us of the kind of galactic spaceship. So what's the game called again?
Space Engineers.
So you're building everything from scratch. That's why it takes you a lot of time, eh?
Yeah. Because it's in survival mode, so that means you don't get the creative automatic build stuff. You gotta mine the resources and put them in the machine, hope the machine produces enough of the materials for you to build the block.
Okay. Okay, so it's a kind of a... I keep saying it's a kind of a Minecraft, but...
No, that's kind of fair.
Yeah, kind of a Minecraft, but from space.
Yeah.
Well, how do you build... That's one question. How do you build the stuff, like the blocks, the metal, or whatever you use?
All right, so... Okay, so everything has a base material for it. If you have that base material in your inventory, then you can grab the block from your inventory, place it down, and then it gives you a wired view of the block.
Okay.
And then um, you gotta weld all the materials into the block so then it becomes the full block.
Okay. So that means
Uh,
you go from planet to planet?
you can generally. You have hydrogen engines, ion engines, and atmospheric engines, but atmospheric engines are not the best for going to planet to planet. You're not. It's not. It's not suited for it at all. You barely leave a planet with those.
Okay. Okay. Oh. So yeah, because I remember you brought. I think it was with you, and that you brought your ship to a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm following your games. You know, they seem to be cool too at the same time. I mean, I'm surely I would like to because I like to build stuff. So I'd have to understand, but like Minecraft, I always like to build stuff. So it's been a while I didn't play Minecraft. I should play Minecraft.
Hmm.
It calms you down.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and
Actually, speaking of Minecraft, I was able to figure out how to mostly do a 3x3 door.
are you serious?
Well, so you know Desu, also known as Count Deku
Yeah,
from you.
that's because of me.
He has a Minecraft server up, and he was like, "Hey, Twit, come join me." So I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Hey, can you build us a bunker?" And I was like, "Sure." So I have 3x3 tunnels throughout the thing. So I was like, I want to have an area that I can close off. Let's figure out how to build a door for this. Took me 5 hours, maybe more.
What? 5 hours?
They changed redstone a lot, and yeah, I had to figure out new redstoning to it.
Okay.
So yeah, because at first I thought it was just a simple double piston. You flip one, it pushes both up. You deactivate the redstone, they both come back down. Nope.
Okay. Okay. Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by any means, did you have the chance to tell Pinky the show was changed to Tuesdays now? Sorry, I'm
I
not
thought
talking
she
about
saw.
administration. I'm talking about our host,
I know.
our
I
co-host.
thought I thought she saw. I can see what she's up to.
Just what I mean, if she wants to join the show, because since she's part of our show. But while you're doing that, I do have. I was usually always have these questions, and I'll figure some out. I'll get some questions, and I got a joke. So I got one joke tonight.
Okay.
So tell me if you remember this joke. So I'm gonna call this out. So a bear and a rabbit are taking a poop in the woods, and the bear turns to the rabbit and says, "Excuse me, do you have any problems with poop sticking up your fur?" Then the rabbit says, "No." So the bear wipes his butt with the rabbit.
Bleh.
Well, I took out a little bit of the PG-13 stuff, so poop is not poop technically. So do you remember who created this damn this joke?
No.
It's an Eddie Murphy joke. So you could understand that poop is not poop. Okay? Because usually it's even better when you say it the other way. So I got one. Okay, it's like usual. It's always these funny, not funny, funny, then funnies. But yeah. So what are we? Is it so weird? Keep forgetting we got so many people usually that we have like thousands of topics that we talk about, and tonight I'm like, I forgot to structure my stuff, but that's me, and I'm okay to say it live. It happens. It happens that you know.
Pinky's popping in.
Yeah. Okay. Not a problem. So yeah. Hey, I got a question. Do you know a little bit about Mixer?
Music mixer?
No, not Music Mixer, but Mixer, the streaming site platform.
I can't say that I do.
Okay, no, because you know that we are now broadcasting. If it works, we are broadcasting on Mixer, right? Talking
I
about
have heard stuff about that, but not much.
yeah, And I know that we are figuring out. I know we were talking about this, figuring out. Yeah, it's true. We gotta start also our TK Talk TO. So, man, bear with me tonight. Tonight, man, what's going on with Verm tonight? Well, it happens. It happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, we at Vermland Radio have taken a good step in being able to gather uh, your possibility to chat with us. So we are now in our www.vermlandradio.com. We have what we call Chat with the DJ, and it's a platform called from TKTO. So with that said, you now can hit that and chat directly with us. Directly with us on chat. And it's a great. I don't know if you ever tried it.
I think I've done it once or twice back when we were at Tall.
Yeah. Oh yes, I do remember. Yes, it used to write to me. Yeah. So we're back in action with that. So that's a great platform. But I know the people are gonna have to get used to it. You know, there's so
Didn't I
much
used
stuff.
to request a lot of Billy Joe?
Yes, you did. I remember that. Yeah, it's true. You liked Uptown Girl. Is that right? No?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah. And where was I going?
It's a new system that we'll have to figure out.
Yes. So this is cool. It's the first time that I don't talk too much, eh? Twit's going, whoa! Do Twit?
Hmm.
Surely you got something that we could talk about and on maybe the gaming industry or the music industry that you must have popped up today or this week, I should say.
Well, Space Engineers has released their new Frontier DLC,
Okay.
and what that entails is a new UI for the general player. Uh, it looks much more sleek. They also added in a new planet, which is called Titan, or Titan. Still trying to figure that out. And very similar to the Ice Moon, only except there actually is stone within the first 50 meters and down.
Okay.
And it's very similar to the Earth-like planet, only except there's no grass.
No. Yeah. And what about are you a Battlefield fan? No.
No.
You're not a Battlefield fan? You're not a one man shooter?
One-man shooter, for that, I like Call of Duty or Phantom Forces from Roblox.
Okay. Okay, so that's kind of good. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, no, not hello. Halo.
Oh, Halo. I own the Master Chief Collection. I actually recently got it, but I don't really care for it.
Are you serious? Why?
Because I thought it would be starting me off with the first couple of Halos, do the actual lore of it, but no, it started me off with Halo Reach, and that's just like, I've played that, been there, done that.
Been there and done that, eh?
Yep. And then I made the mistake of going on super hard mode, and everything was just kicking my butt, and I was like, I don't remember this being this difficult. I also don't like the controls, but everyone has their own style.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry, I have to tell my fans on the other side of the studio that they're really talking loud.
Yep.
You must be hearing them, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. See, now it's my sons that are taking over the kids of Pinky. Usually, they're making the noise. Oh God, yeah. So hey, I'm looking through since we're throwing ourselves a little bit all over the place today,
Hmm.
I'm looking through my Verm'S Radio emails. You know, we got a new band that might start broadcasting on our air, and it's called Black Lakes.
Okay.
It's a rock band.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's a rock band. Here it is. I'll say this. Black Lakes are a no war ram band. I don't know what's a no war ram band from South
Uh,
Wales. NWORAM. Am I saying it well?
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Okay, spell it again.
NWORAM. NORAM? NORAM? Is that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, public.
Norman.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties with my reading. So the band's from South Wales who blurred in a line between hard rock, and metal. With consummate ease, drawing upon influence of the 90s, grunge, and the 2000 new metal and contemporary rock and metal. They have produced a collection of songs with the broad mass appeal, heavy enough for a contemporary metalheads, metallic enough for the old school rockers, and accessible enough for the encourage of the Inuit man. I'm gonna have to go back to
Hmm.
English school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what this is? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So wait, you know what? Maybe, I should put this. I'm gonna try one out.
See if it translates to French.
Yeah, wait. Let me see this. Which one? The Divine, maybe. Is it gonna work? I'm gonna have to put this on radio. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on radio. We're gonna try one out. It's rare that we play a song, but you know what? Am I gonna get one? Yeah. So what else is going on about with the coronavirus while I'm trying to figure this out? You have any news about the coronavirus around your place?
I haven't been really keeping track. I've finally been able to stay at home for the longest time now,
Okay.
but I have been looking for online jobs. No such luck.
Serious? Yeah.
Well, they're out there and I've applied, but they're all like, yeah, no, you're not what we need.
Okay.
That's just the one thing I don't care about workplaces is that they just they see the resume and they're like, "You're not what we need." When they haven't even talked to me, be like, "Hey, so how are you with people?" Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. How you doing, Pinky?
I'm doing all right.
So
Uh,
yeah. Go ahead, Pinky. Sorry.
just to comment on what Twit was saying is like, yeah, it's a really flaw in how people do business these days. Is they don't talk to people; they just look at paper or a computer screen, and they let that determine. And then all other businesses, it's all on who you know rather than what you can do.
Yes. And I'm really sorry, Pinky, because I know that we took a decision. Was it yesterday night or before or Sunday when we decided to move
Sunday.
to move the show to Tuesday from 9 till 10:30 p.m. because it would be better off for everybody. So, but
It's totally okay. I had only heard about it briefly and then completely forgot because
yeah, and I think Akai did too, but that's okay. It's the first. We got to get back to get. We all decided it was on Tuesday, but you never know. There's always things that go on in real life also.
Pinky didn't decide.
No.
Pinky was not part of this decision process. Pinky pleads innocent.
Yeah.
This was not a Pinky approved position change.
No,
or
it wasn't.
Slot change.
It was the general manager's decision with his show. No, but I wanted to make it more easier because even with I know that we have the coronavirus these days, and we're all stuck at home, and all that stuff like that. But the thing is, the time set we had 10:30 to 11:30 was a little bit more hectic for a lot of people. I mean, Akai, it's like he goes, yeah, me too, but maybe at 90%, I should say. Twit was that was said. I mean, like him too has to shuffle between the real life and the family and the kids and the wife and like that. So. And it was the same thing for us. So I said, why don't we pick a time where everybody feels that they could be there and participate? And Akai said, well, yeah, Tuesdays would be better for me. And I think Twit, you took that decision too, that Tuesdays were better, and also for me. So I usually it's my classic hits show at this time, and I've like took two days of classic hits, and I said, well, I'm going to cut one off and. I'm going to bring this podcast and we're going to start recording, but we got to get set. It's still like not balanced because of exactly that we weren't there. So, and people didn't know and you didn't know and, stuff like that. So, but that's okay. It's part of it. And, Pinky, going back to the topic that me and Twit. Thank you, Twit.
Whatever your name is.
Yeah, remember whatever you are. Yeah, Twit.
Radio Monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Monkey.
I was looking around. I was telling him that we have a new band that wants us to broadcast them and promote them. Maybe they'll become the band of the month. And I was going to play a song. It's something that I don't usually do on This Is Not a Podcast, but. This is not a podcast. We always have these surprises. And I said, hey, why don't we play one of their songs to see
what they're about?
Because they have a good values. They're rock. There's some hard rock. And like I said, I was reading it out a little bit to Twit. And they're from Wales, South Wales. So if I'm sure Wales is in the UK. Am I correct?
Yes, it's over by London. I have friends over there.
Okay, cool. So I'm at least I'm maybe still good in geographics. So yeah, so that's not that bad. And we've been promoting a lot of the UK music industry. It would be our third band. But yeah, so I'm really proud to look this over. But you know what? We're gonna take a moment and we'll listen to a little clip of the song. Are y'all willing to listen?
Yeah. I love listening to music.
So here we go. We're going to be playing this. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Black Lakes, sorry. And the song's called The Divide.
Setup.
So how did you like the song?
We couldn't hear it, Verm.
You serious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even on the station?
No, there's a really hefty delay between us and the radio.
Yeah, well, that we know. There's always, I don't know, we always witness that when we do our show. That's the reason why we don't listen to radio at the same time we do our show. That's
Oh no, the
everybody.
delay is like a really decent delay. Like
Yeah, it
when
was almost a
last time
minute.
I clicked over,
Yeah, it was almost a minute.
it's a little. I would say it's a little over a minute.
We can't do nothing about it.
Pink?
Why did she leave?
Like right now, it's talking about it's you saying we got to get set. It's still like, talking about the getting the time set up. That's where the radio's at right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, yeah, I can't do nothing about it. We looked at this, and I know that I've been talking to our broadcaster, and there's technical issues going on, so they're working on it. There's a new platform coming out also, so they're looking at it. So maybe that's the reason, but technically, me and Akai have been witnessing this for a while, that we always have like a, what do they call it? A loop.
Well, I mean, a little bit of a delay isn't too bad, but
yeah. But we can't play. You can't play it live at the same time because you're gonna get that. We already tried that, and when you hear yourself in an echo, and you go, "Where am I talking about? What am I talking about?" So what are we talking about?
I don't know. What are we talking about, Verm?
Yeah, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? That's a good question, eh? Twit, we started this, and one thing I can tell you, we do got to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be talking about something when we come back. So stay tuned, and we're going to commercial break.
Verm'S Radio. Verm'S Radio. A Gamer certified station.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mom's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rod goes down the hole, pull tight, and left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a big brother! We can do this! Together!
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool, cool, cool. Very cool, very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Ad Council. How are you doing, everybody? DJ Verm here live, and I know that we are having... Well, anyways, technically, we are not having an issue because whoever's going to be listening is going to listen to it now. It's us that are having that little loophole, if we want, or delay, like Pinky said. So,
a delay is just fine.
Yeah.
All radio has a delay.
Yeah.
There's no true live radio.
No.
But...
Just wish I could hear your audio again, Verm.
Why? What do you mean by your audio?
Pinky, you remember? He likes to feed his audio through his own mic.
Yep.
Okay, so Akai is just wrote to me saying that he's going to be here in not too long.
Okay.
So that's great. So, hey, I've looked through. Like I told you, it's so funny that I'm always set with all these questions and stuff like that. So now I'm reading through my questions. What is a complete random fact?
The the materials that make up the moon are also perfect for skin care when it comes to protection against UV.
God, that's good. But why?
I
Probably because of all the radiation that it's bombarded with. Because it doesn't have a protective atmosphere.
Oh, that's good.
That would be my best. That's my theory.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're kind of right. We should look this up on Google, but yeah, Google. Why do I always say Google? Google. Everybody is Google this, Google that. Eh?
Yep.
Did you know Google actually prefers people not to use the term Google that because it endangers their copyright on their name?
Are you serious?
Yeah, if people use a term, if something becomes like a slang word or a term that people use in everyday subject, it can you can lose your copyright on it, and it becomes a free use.
Hey, Verm, go Google it.
Google it.
Google it. Google it.
So Google was telling people don't say Google it, and then Bing was saying, hey, you could Bing it. And everyone's just like, no, Bing, go home. Nobody likes you.
No, because Google has it. Oh, that's better. Google has it.
No.
I got a question for you. Here's another one for you, Pinky. When did a game of hide and seek go horribly wrong, I should say, sorry. Did you have a problem with a hide and seek game?
I mean, I play Zombie, which is like hide and go seek, but far more extreme.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you have a bunch of people. Like it starts off, everyone goes and hides. It starts off with one person being it, but when you get caught, you turn into a zombie, and you have to help find other people. And there's several strategies people use. They either hide or they just keep moving. But it's
Hello,
never
baby.
gone wrong for me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she is a birthday girl. It is her birthday tomorrow.
Oh, can we sing her happy birthday?
You want to hear happy birthday? Come here, baby face. Come here, Muffin Butt. Muffin Butt. Everyone wants to tell you happy birthday. Here, I'll even put the headphones on her.
Oh,
Come
go.
here.
Tell me when.
Here you go. Now she's...
Okay. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy
Oh, wait, we can't do this.
Why?
It's copyrighted.
Are you serious?
Damn you, Disney. Yes.
Oh, well, wait. You say it's copyrighted, but we do pay royalties. So happy birthday. It's true. You have another song we can invent? Happy birthday. Happy
Actually, her favorite song, what her favorite band is, she's all into barbershop quartets.
Okay.
And her favorite band is the Newfangled Four.
Oh, what's that?
They are a barbershop quartet. They're very quirky, very fun. And according to Angel Rose, they are going places. She sees a lot of potential in them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and she's been their fan for a long time. She's very, very picky when it comes to music, especially barbershop quartets. And every single quartet that she's ever liked has always been award-winning, highly ranked, except for at the time the Newfangled Four, who when she first started listening to them, they weren't well known, they weren't well ranked, but they've just been getting better and better scores every year, and now they're incredibly well known, really high ranked, and they've even done their own. They've done cruise ship tours and things like that. Yeah.
That's really good.
She's got a really good ear for music, don't you, baby face? Come on, have a kiss.
So
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
But we like to sing her, you know, the song Ida Rose?
Yeah?
She likes Ida Rose, and she likes, oh, yes, she likes Banana Phone.
Ooh, banana phone.
Yeah, ring, 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 dong, ding.
Oh.
Banana Phone.
Twit's gonna say another copyright.
No, it was less than 10 seconds. We're good.
Oh, there's our brother Kai.
Yeah. She's got a very discerning ear. And it's kind of sweet because so my youngest dog is a month and a day younger than my youngest child. And tomorrow, my talk show is going to be going live. We're actually going to be doing pilot live, so you should be happy about that, Verm.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a pilot live?
Yep, we're doing the pilot live. So I'm super nervous that hoping nothing goes wrong. We don't have any horrible technical difficulties that crush all my hopes and dreams.
Not my fault.
100% that Twit's fault. Twit did it. Can confirm. If Twit
Tucker
goes missing,
did.
you know why. Me and
No, Pinky. If I go missing, there are multiple reasons why.
oh my. Care to elaborate, Twit? Care
Half
to
of them are
share
still
all
because
your
of you.
secrets? Oh, well, that's no fun.
So how's
How am I supposed to know who to frame if you won't tell me?
So how's Mr. Akai?
Good. I just got an email that said Latin girls want to meet you. Latina date.
Whoa!
Oh, I thought you said laughing girls. I'm just like, are they clowns?
I don't know. I had to delete the email though.
Wife wouldn't be too happy about that, would she?
Well, you never know. She's been looking to trade me in, I think.
No, is she going for the younger, less broken model, or is she just going for the richer model?
She probably wants the younger, less broken model that's rich.
Oh, well, you know, those are hard to come by.
Yeah, they are hard to come by.
And they come with all their own problems.
Ah, that's true. It's not because you're rich you don't got problems, eh?
It's cheaper to keep me.
Exactly.
You're crazy.
Whatever you say, guys. Whatever you say.
That's the words of wisdom here. It's usually cheaper to keep them, so work it out.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's easier to just keep my husband. He's absolutely crazy. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm not crazy. I'm insane, is what he says every time I tell him he's batshit crazy.
So, Akai, today, since myself came in late. So, sorry, public. Myself came in late. We're like doing it on the spot. We're like, why don't you always, like you usually do, Akai, give us a little bit of debrief on the coronavirus. You should have your table up. Usually you always have your screen up. And
Yeah, Kai, who's winning?
We are.
Who's winning right now? Are we winning?
I'm going to open it up myself because I know we always have a...
We're not winning in deaths. That one's still Italy.
Surprisingly, I could tell you that in Quebec, where I am, it went up, it doubled. It doubled.
I heard that over in your area that they are using the ice skating rinks as morgues.
Yeah, they have, yes. The ice
Well,
skating rings.
They could just throw them in the mountains.
Hey, talk. Whoop, God, man, told him to talk about that and left. So, I got a question, Pink. Not Pink. Twit. Yesterday, you were talking. Were you the one talking that there was what's going on there? You can see. I think the operation dashboard has a fatal error. Does it have an error on your part, Akai?
What are we looking at?
The operation dashboard of the coronavirus. I asked you what's going on with the coronavirus.
Oh, I don't know. I just finally got back in. I had a technical difficulty and crashed.
Okay, because it seems to not be synchronizing myself.
No, it's in a loading screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I mean, we're trying to look to see. Well, we're at about 4,300, if I'm
Yeah.
sure.
It's fatal error. I'm able to load.
Yeah. So are you having the problem yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Italy's still in the lead with deaths last time I looked.
Okay.
And then I know the U.S. had a little over 2,000. They're probably over 3,000 today.
So I not to insult no one, I just want to know your point of view. Is Trump starting to believe in this virus, or?
I think he's believed in it from the beginning. It's, if you want to lay blame on anybody, lay blame on the Chinese. It's their damn virus.
Yeah,
it's their damn problem. If you want to bill anybody, bill the Chinese. Bill the Chinese. It's the CCP virus, the Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it. It's their damn fault that this has been unleashed on the world, and Trump has nothing to do with it.
No, I'm not talking about Trump having to do with it, but I'm talking about the situation in the States.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. For most people, it's not really a problem. Like, if you notice, like, we're not winning in death tolls because we have good medical. But, I mean, it's an intense flu. For most people, it's not going to kill them. And it's not harmful it's proven to not be that detrimental to children.
Okay.
We just need a vaccine for our elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 3,800 deaths right now.
Yeah,
3,889.
See, that's not that big of a number, all things considered.
So you got to back
in a country,
yeah.
In a country of 300 million plus.
Yeah, you said 3,000, right?
3,889.
Yeah, that's only 3 high schools.
Yeah,
maybe 2.5.
And then 7,251 have recovered so far, and currently there is 188,530 cases in the United States. So, President Obama, when H1N1 hit, did absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And there was 14,000 deaths. And that was supposedly a weaker virus than this one.
Well, that's what I think. It's a weaker virus.
I would beg to differ it because I had H1N1 and I thought it was over. So I just kept making it until I faked it because it gave me bilateral pneumonia and it just wrecked me.
What's interesting is there's actually a homeopathic cure for H1N1 that the government itself found to be super effective. They had a couple of ships that had contracted it, and they gave them different cures. And one, they gave them the homeopathic cure, and it only one person died, and it was the person who had originally brought it on board. I forget what the exact numbers are because it's been a long while, but
well, they have the drug to treat it, and all the people that laughed at Trump when he said that the malaria drug and the Z-Pack. Well, he was going off the French study that was already done in France, where they did that thing where they had 100% success rate and all the patients recovered. Okay. He was going off that information from that medical study, and everybody gave him a hard time about it. And now the hospitals are like, oh, we should be giving this drug as a preventative because it reduces the viral count in your body. It's not gonna stop you from getting the conid, but it reduces the amount of the virus in your body. So these So these health practitioners, these doctors, and these nurses that are out there on the front lines, they're going, hey, we need something so we could stay out here and stay fit to keep working the lines. And, they need that drug.
They do. Sorry for the bling blings. Yeah. So they do. So it's
I think it's pretty interesting that people say that, he doesn't care, and they bring up the fact that he said, I only got the treatment because you all made me. But he's not sick, so why would he get the treatment for it? It's
What I read was he didn't get the treatment, he got the test. The test that they're all complaining that there are so few of.
Okay. And?
Even still, that still kind of stands as like, why would I waste resources on myself when I don't have any symptoms?
Well, that's what
I'm doing just fine. And they made him, and then they're complaining that he's not taking this seriously because he doesn't feel the need to waste resources.
But the only thing that I just like, and explain to me your vision. The only thing that I just, well, I mean, on my bird's eye view and what I hear from my part of the news, okay, is why he wants to like kick back the economy when there's a crisis going on.
Okay, so for that, what's going on is he's saying, hey, if your area is not being hit, you should not be inside. You should be out working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, yeah.
If there's...
You know what?
It's like the count in our county is relatively low. So because Denver and all those places got hit really hard, and the ski communities got hit really hard.
Uh-huh.
And partly only one of the reasons we got it in this town is because, some people were up in the mountains smoking weed, passing joints around, and they brought it back with them. So,
that's fully exciting.
Yeah. And they brought it back with them, and now we have it in here, this town, It's their darn fault. But for them, they're young enough, it's no big deal. But those people that did that worked in a lot of high contact areas and met hundreds of people a day. And, it was bound to spread. And it did.
So are you kind of telling me that you're, with all that going on, you're kind of worried for the spread anyways?
I'm not worried about the spread. 60% of the population is going to get this no matter what. That's, it's how fast they get it and how fast they're going to complain, or, the only reason they're trying to hold people back is to slow the spread so it doesn't overwhelm the healthcare staff. Well, in some parts of the country, there's no reason for rural Montana to be on lockdown when the closest one is Billings, for crying out loud. They could still be out working the farm and having coffee down at the cafe. And, it's been the same 20 people there in the cafe for the last 15 years. I mean, why do they have to shut the doors?
Well, what really gets me is like, I quarantine myself every flu season anyway because of my autoimmune disorder. So why is it that we're forcing everyone to quarantine? Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's buying up supplies that they don't need because we're making them quarantine when, they're not even at much of a risk. And if they do get sick, it'll knock them on their ass for a little bit, but then they'll just be better. Why don't we just quarantine the people who are at risk?
And we did.
And I mean, well
they
did,
but
everyone.
They did, but they quarantined everybody too.
My husband's is viewed as an important worker, right?
Yeah.
Yep, essential.
He's an essential worker, so he can still work. Yes, he can, in theory, get time off to take care of me and the girls, but it's, he has to talk to his boss, and there's no guarantees there. Like, if me and other people who were at a higher risk were the only people quarantined, then yes, he definitely could get paid time off. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really tough. You know, if it was just if it was just the people who had to be quarantined that were quarantined for their safety, and we treated it like we treat every other flu bug, it wouldn't be so much of a problem. And you know, I think a lot of bosses would be a lot more accommodating and say, "Oh, hey, no, your wife's in quarantine. Yeah, you go take care of her." You know, or "Oh, hey, your kids are this is happening with your kids. You go take care of them." You know, and if you have to be in quarantine, make sure, you know, if you have someone who's in quarantine, you either make sure you keep the kids home from school, or you just don't have the kids, you have the kids stay somewhere else away from the quarantined area, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, really simple. But instead we kind of have this policy, and we have it in a lot of other parts too, but you know, we have this policy, like even with vaccinating our children, which I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means, but you know, the whole reason why they say that we need to vaccinate our children is you have to vaccinate your child for people who cannot vaccinate their children. And you know, I have an autoimmune disorder that my girls most likely also have.
Okay.
In theory, we shouldn't vaccinate at all. However, we're pushed to vaccinate even though it's dangerous for us. And it's just, I think it's all very silly. Like, why are we doing things to protect others? We should be focusing on protecting ourselves. I know that's a very selfish worldview, but you know, it kind of goes to the whole, right now we have this idea that the government needs to take care of us. The government needs to make sure that we're properly quarantined. You know, when I was talking to people about, you know, well, if they do mandatory quarantine everyone, how is anyone going to get groceries?
That's true.
And everyone's just, oh, well, the government will send us groceries. I'm like, that's
How?
not their job.
Okay, now the government's going to send you grocery. God, we're going to eat? We're really going to eat the
MREs.
Yeah, MREs, man. Don't send ration packs.
Oh my gosh, it's the hidden children again, isn't it?
Yep.
But
they got scared at the MRE comments.
Well, I got a question for you guys. This now we're like not going out of the coronavirus, but I'm going to ask you a question that's slowly sloping to something else. Is, are we going to have a baby boom?
Yes.
Because of that, because now everybody is having sex for sure.
Not enough.
There we go, Akai. Not enough.
Akai, you can't get it anymore.
Hey, he can get it. He just can't make it.
I can get it. I just can't make them anymore. Doesn't mean I don't want it.
That's
5
right.
times a day.
He maybe wants it even more.
Hey, only 5, Akai?
You know, I don't want to scare people away.
I see.
Yeah. No, because I was realizing that. I mean, we had when there was that baby boom in the 20s, 30s. When was it? The first baby, the
40s.
big 40s.
40s, 50s, and then
it was World War II, eh? World War II.
Yeah.
Okay. That everybody started like making a crash of babies. Well, I mean,
because they all came home from the war and started doing the mambo.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect? They've been gone for 3 years.
But also at that time, I think there was all that religion stuff and all that. You know, they're make babies, and stuff like that.
I don't think that has to do anything with it.
No, you're serious?
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here in Quebec, yes, I can tell you that. We used to be, I'm not going to say owned, but ruled.
Well, I mean, the crown still does own you. I mean,
here we go.
I mean, you let Queen Elizabeth kill 10 children up there and eat them. So, I mean,
God, where the
what?
What?
Oh, look it up, man.
So you're starting to tell me she's a cannibal?
She's part of that elite crowd who likes to drink children's blood. So, yeah.
There we go.
Yes, but is she real life cannibal Shia
LaBeouf?
So we're already at that state of saying that that we have a queen that is cannibal. Now that's a first. She didn't put a bone in her nose yet.
That's not a first, Verm. That's
Definitely
not.
not a
It's an
first.
ongoing thing. It's 10 Native American children that are Native Indian children from Canada that disappeared after a picnic with the Queen and have never been seen from again.
So,
It's a known thing.
So
if I found out about it,
I mean, yeah, you're right. I know you do a lot of research, guy. So you're telling me that maybe they're in the freezer?
or they had their blood sucked down. Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, she is kind of going through this. She kind of just stopped aging.
And the person that came forward as an eyewitness with the eyewitness accounts on this stuff,
yeah,
all of a sudden ended up dead.
So another, what's their faces? Clinton.
Kamloops, Kamloops, Mission Indian Residential School. There was 10 children that went on a picnic with the Queen, and they were never seen from again. Wow. And this happened in September 1964.
Wow.
So, what happened to the kids? 7 boys, 3 girls, all aging between the age of 6 and 14 years old. Then there's some of these international courts that are getting together now with all these different agencies going about all these huge child trafficking rings that they're importing all these kids in from all over the world, from all these third world countries, because they don't have social security numbers. They don't have stuff like that you have in modern societies. They're talking about these people that have these children farms where they're breeding these children that are off the books so they can use them for trade and whatever these people do with them. And it was just a sick video.
Is that as worse as what Twit talked to us about, that truck that they were putting the bodies in?
Well, when you run out of morgue space, you can use refrigerated reefers. Yeah, why not?
Verm, I don't remember that.
But who talked to us about that? That had a video.
I said that. Well, I mean, I mentioned how over in Canada right now they are using an ice hockey or in Canada and in Spain, in places they're using ice rinks as morgues.
Yeah.
But no, like what Akai was saying, like that's why it's so important to have borders and to control your borders, because like over here at the Mexico border, you have people who are it's one of those questions like, do you think we should separate families? Like, of course. You have no proof that that person is related to that child in any way, shape, or form. There's no documentation.
Other than
nothing.
a DNA test.
Yep.
Other than a DNA test, which takes a bit of time. It's not instantaneous. So you have to separate them to make sure that they are genuinely related. But there's people who just sell children at the border to help people get across.
Well, and then,
wow.
Not to mention it. I mean, you know, if I commit a crime with my child in the car, are they going to let the child go to prison with me? Heck no. They're going to separate us and, put that kid in foster care and some ward of the court until somebody else in the family can pick up the child. If somebody can pick up the child, so yeah.
Okay, that is crazy. But what are we? I thought were you, Pinky? Were you talking about the cross-border thing with Mexico, about the people trying to cross the border, or is it the coronavirus stuff?
Yeah, people trying to cross the border. And the thing is, those children that they're using that aren't even theirs to cross the border.
Okay.
Those children end up. they get passed around and they end up in the child sex trafficking.
Oh, schmutz.
Yeah, that's what 95% of those children are. Those are victims of child sex trafficking. And, one of the most, you see these endearing pictures on the news of, oh, this dad trying to cross the border with his young daughter. Well, you know what? If he cared about his daughter, he wouldn't take her to those border camps, because that's the most dangerous place for a little girl to be.
Well, that's true.
That's the most dangerous place. And, 95% of the time, when you see this dad carrying this dead little girl, it's not even his. It's just some kid that he found on the side of the road.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does.
The truth does.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, I've always been defending children, in all the different organizations I have, and I like to go help, and there's always, like we all know that there's a lot of poor people and the children are not fed in school and all that. So it hurts to hear you talk about that, and that's you said the cell of children there. Ugh. That really hurts. Yeah.
No, it's really awful what people are doing and what we let people get away with. And, the children are getting used and abused, and even our court system is failing children every day. Wow. You have kids that are taking 95% of custody battles where one parent is claiming where a child is in danger.
Okay.
It's the parent that is trying to protect the child from danger that does not receive custody.
Whoa.
95% of the time, it is the parent that is actually a danger to the child that retains custody of the child.
Okay, that is scary.
That's really scary. It's an absolute nightmare the way our system is set up, and children are the most vulnerable. They're one of the most vulnerable classes, but even if a child is being hurt or mistreated, the way our system currently is, it's one of the only systems where you ask a victim if someone's hurting them in front of the person who's potentially hurting them.
God.
Well, then...
Oh, what's that? Where were you going with this again?
It's
it's one of those things where, the borders of frickin', it's not as secure as people think it is. All this children trafficking crap is just out of control. The sex trade traffic is out of control. But yet we got to have softer, kinder, gentler sentences for all these criminals because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we started executing these guys, there'd be a lot less of them.
Yeah.
That's what we call drastic maneuvers.
Yeah, but I
don't
mean,
call it drastic.
No, I know.
But everybody wants to blame Trump right now, and the whole world wants to blame Trump. People who aren't even in this country that Trump has nothing to do with anything in their country want to blame Trump, and I don't understand it. And I'm like, I says Trump doesn't affect your economy. Trump doesn't affect how you live. What affects your economy is how your government in your country decides to interact with the rest of the world. And if you're not going to play nicely with the rest of the world, then Trump's going to smack your hand.
Well, you don't see people blaming Putin when he plays hardball.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
Yeah. We don't have Putin as public enemy number one when he plays hardball with China or other countries. Putin closed off Russia's border instantaneously, and they're doing pretty well. But over here in the United States, and it's really interesting. Everyone's blaming Trump for the spread of the coronavirus. But let's look at the cities where corona is at its worst.
Let's look at the CDC, who dropped and thumbled this ball all to heck. And let's look at the current IRS, who refuses to change the tax schedules and correct them until Trump is out of office and people are getting pissed off over their taxes because not enough money's being taken out of their taxes. And it's the IRS's fault, not Trump's fault, that this stuff is happening. The media, well, they're all on one side, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be, and these journalists is like, well, you're supposed to be objective and, have all this. I says, no, I've done it. I'm looking to other sources for my news now. And then, look what happened with this Jeffrey Epstein thing. They took how many thousands of hours of all these world leaders and highfalutin people and people from all over the world that went to Jeffrey Epstein's islands and engaged with sex with minors. And did inappropriate acts with all these minors and children. Bill Clinton being one of them. Was it Prince Edward or whatever it is from England? And they got all these people that were dipping the dew in these kids, and not one person has been prosecuted out of this. And all of a sudden we have a guy who dies in a maximum security facility, and the camera doesn't work in his room. All of a sudden he's dead. He got a visit from some security guard that doesn't even work there, and the security guards just mysteriously didn't check his cell for an hour when he was on a high-risk watch for suicide. Give me a break.
God.
It's all over the place. Like, I hate to be one for conspiracy theories, but at some point it stops being a conspiracy theory. Like, I know I joke that the whole I'm with her, whatnot, but I mean, when the facts don't add up.
38, or is it 39 now? People that have actually had some interaction with Hillary that are dead. Like, done. Like, he was walking to work one day and he got mugged, but all the money's still in his wallet.
That's not crazy. A mugging.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, I mean, even if you just look at Hillary when she was a lawyer, she actually got someone off. She successfully got someone off for having non-consensual relations with a minor. She actually got someone off for that. She defended someone and won the case.
Whoa.
So I mean, like, those are the facts as they are. That's public information that people seem to forget is in the public domain.
And then there's the email scandal, which proven she handled classified material incorrectly that would have gotten any of us 50 years in jail. There's the fact that selling of the uranium to the Russians on the uranium Russian deal. Why would we sell, as the U.S. government, sell our uranium that's ballistic, to the Russians, for crying out loud? Are you kidding me? And then, you got the whole Clinton Foundation thing where you got the pay to play. There's so much things going on in her camp that you're like, oh, and let's look at the current scandals when she was running for office, when she was going against Trump, how the fact that the DNC manipulated the primaries, and it was talked about in the WikiLeaks emails about how they manipulated the primaries to get Bernie out, and nobody ever went to court. Nobody ever got prosecuted for messing around in state primaries and giving false vote records in primaries.
Speaking of which, where are we at with the election?
Who knows? Bernie's still in. That's the last I heard.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I want Biden to stay in. I want Biden to be the candidate, just so I can hear him say more absolutely crazy things. Like they songified his thing about his hairy legs. It's like, I got hairy legs, turn blonde in the summer. I mean, dementia is a serious condition, but boy, is it funny to watch play out live on the national stage.
But you have heard the theory that he's going to put Hillary as his vice president and she's going to force him out.
Oh, come on.
Well, of course she would. I mean, let's be honest. If Hillary ended up as VP, he would accidentally have an accident.
he's gonna die.
He tripped and fell in the shower.
That's why Obama lived for 8 years. It's because he was this vice president. And they're like, nope, not doing that.
Oh God. Well,
it's
I activated everything.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I activated everything by asking you about Trump. But one thing I want you all to understand, you all know it from Canada, and whatever I hear from my news, So, but me, it's the curiosity to know what you people think about, Trump. I mean, Trump has not always done. I'll say shitful things because he's been running companies. Oh yeah, he did crash a couple of times with some company, but who doesn't learn from their mistakes? So
it's interesting,
and that's why Trump has been as successful in business as he has, is because he doesn't surround himself with shitbirds. He surrounds himself with the best people in the business to give him the best advice so he can make a qualified decision.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then when he pulls the trigger, he goes, "I've pulled the trigger. I'm sticking by it. You're not changing my mind."
Personally, I like the fact that we have a president who runs this country like a business. As a business owner, I applaud that. It's much better than running it as a charity.
Yes.
Because if you run this country as a charity, yeah, that sounds all nice and happy and kumbaya. However, you're running a charity on my dime, not on your own, on my dime. And and you're spending money on things that I don't believe in, that I don't want to believe in, that I feel could be better spent on myself, on my family. We've tried to change charity altogether. When we had Obama in office, it's the government's in charge of that. Well, no, you don't have to take care of homeless people. The government's in charge of that. You don't have to take care of single mothers. Oh, yeah.
Go to grant.gov. Watch the blood flow from your eyeballs as you read some of these grants that we do. We need, and I joke about this, is like we need to bill the Chinese for all the medical expenditures for this virus because it's their virus. The world needs to put a class action lawsuit together and sue China over this deal. But it'll never happen because all but 5 countries in this world are owned by the same stinking bank, and they hold all the debt and all the money in those countries, and it'll never happen.
What bank is that?
The World Bank.
Oh, the World Bank. Okay.
So you got the Federal Reserve. The U.S. Federal Reserve is owned by the same people that own the World Bank. So there's only 5 countries in the world that didn't have it, and the last person that tried to make an end run around the World Bank ended up to get dead. His name was Gaddafi. And they ended up hosing him because he was going to go back on the gold standard and charge gold standard for oil. And they got rid of him.
Huh.
There's a lot bigger things at play here that people don't realize. And when you start reading it and you start sliding all the pieces around, you're like, holy crap, this is what's going on. But me and you as a little guy, we got no, what's going to happen. But somebody's going to hear this broadcast one day, and then I might have a sniper take me out. Who knows?
Yeah. Just to bring you somewhere else also, do you believe that this virus was really made to downsize the population of the planet?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so 2 yeses and
not of the planet, just of China.
No.
So why no? And then I'm going to ask Pinky why yes.
Granted that there's a biological center right next to the Wuhan market.
Okay.
I don't understand why you would do that, but that's stupid. And it would take very little to get it spread into the thing. But the Chinese wet market system has always been a problem.
Okay.
We knew that the next pandemics were going to come from China 20 years ago.
Yes, there's even books that have written on that.
Books that are written about it, and security analysts that have gone over all this, and especially when SARS and MARS and all that was kicking off, that and all those came from the wet market environments, because you can't keep a cage of chickens on top of a cage of ferrets, because the diseases will switch back and forth. People over here understand that, and that's why it's not allowed by our laws. But over there, they're slaughtering everything and doing everything right there. A lot of the testing that they've done on the virus says it's not a man-made virus. There's a lot of conspiracy theory rolling around on, well, look, there's a patent for the blah, blah virus. And I go, that's the patent that they got because they found that string of DNA protein. And so they patent that so they can get paid when the virus, when the, not cure, but the vaccine comes out.
Okay. So that's the outbreak, the way you see the outbreak.
That's the way I see it. And these guys may see it totally different, and they may have their theory on it.
Yeah, I even heard. I always, and this is funny because on my part, we overheard that the patent was USA. Is that true?
There is a U.S. patent on the
coronavirus.
On the coronavirus.
Well,
yeah,
the COVID-19.
But which one?
Okay.
There's the coronavirus is a whole family of viruses on all the different mutations.
Yes, you're right.
SARS is a different mutation of that. The other one they had is a different mutation of that one. The COVID-19 is a coronavirus mutation. It's, and so when they found that protein string, they patented it because they were the first ones to do it. So, because when anybody else is going to be doing their research, they're going to be going, oh, we have the protein string here. We're just going to research off that protein string to come up with a vaccine. And so they want to get paid. If you use that protein string, then I get paid. I get my chunk of money.
Wow. Okay. Pinky and Twit, what the positive way of it? You guys say yes, so why yes?
Like I said, go ahead.
You go first, Twit.
Well, I've already said that I believe that this virus is going to cause sterility in males or females, one of the two.
Okay.
But now that I see the new test results, it's actually showing that it's actually 50-50 against each gender. It's just because of the fact that males tended to smoke more in their 80s and 90s.
Yes.
That they were getting more infected.
Yeah, well, it's attacking the lungs, so for sure that smokers, it's not too easy for them, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Pinky?
So, personally, I think it's just a little too conspicuous that, I haven't in-depth researched the virus, but it's a little too conspicuous that it primarily affects the elderly, which China has a big problem with a surplus elderly population, right?
Uh-huh.
It does not have a severe effect on children. Normally, a virus like this, its two biggest victims are the elderly and the young, right?
Yeah.
But this virus has been shown to not really affect kids much, right? So that's a red flag for me. Like, that's not how these kind of viruses work. And it's it's showing some weird results. Like there's I don't know any proof of this. I haven't tested any of this, but
no.
There's been talk that it's been made worse by taking anti-inflammatories, and it's really interesting. Over in China, a lot of elderly people that are low income, when they get sick, rather than going to the hospital, what they do instead is they just they'll just take acetaminophen or anti-inflammatories so that they can keep working and not be a burden on their families. Right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that, in theory, anti-inflammatories are what turn this virus, this virus feeds on it. And it makes it a lot worse.
Okay, so that's the reason why we hear that.
I find it really, really suspicious that, all of this is happening. There's been a lot of talk in recent years of China having problems with its population control because they have a lot of older people who are being able to work less and less, and they're not having enough children being born.
Okay.
Because they have odd numbers. Their population numbers are all over the place because of their one-child policy, which are now coming back to bite them really hard.
Yes. And that's the country
they-
that has the masculinity. Eh? You keep the boys and get rid of the girls. Is that? Yeah, it's China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
but
you have
it's 70-30, you know.
Okay.
They got 30% girls and 70% males. So all these males are older now. They've never been married. They smoke, they drink, they sit around with the rest of their family, and and the one guy that was lucky enough to find a wife, now is taking care of 6 or 8 people and on one income.
Whoa.
Which is why we shouldn't have had a male-oriented society. It should have been female-oriented.
Yeah, but wasn't that for the military? That was for the military, no? They done that?
Yes. And so now the other thing that's affecting them, brain fart, I'm losing it.
Burp.
Yeah.
Well,
I just lost that train of thought. Yeah, it was on. It just went out the window.
Yeah, hold that.
Well,
We'll go on a commercial break because we need to do that. We'll go on a commercial break, and we're almost at the end of the show. But hold that, Kai, so you can continue.
Cell phone numbers. Remind me about cell phone numbers.
Cell phone numbers.
Verm'S Radio, a gamer certified station.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rod goes down the hole, pull tight, and left with the bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a big brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are back to the show. Don't forget cell phone, Nakai. We are back here, and we are broadcasting on DLive. We are broadcasting also on all our platforms. God, what kind of... I have a potato in the mouth. DLive, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and our new mixer that we are broadcasting on stream, and also on our radio station on Verm'S Radio. So go see our website, www.vermlandradio.com. And you will have now the opportunity, and this, Pinky, I think you're going to hear this for the first time. We have the opportunity now with Talk KTO to chat directly with the DJ. So technically, you hit the link, and the DJ has a chat box and can chat with you directly. And it's a full control that we will show Pinkity Pie, because I installed that, was it yesterday or something like that, or not too far, well, I think it was on Sunday too. So install that. So that's going to be great for our public to reply to directly. Akai knows all about that because we used to use that on our other station. So Akai, cell phone before we shut the show.
So I don't know if I talked about this last time. Cell phone numbers in China are down like 21 million. Currently, right now, China says they only had 82,000 cases. The numbers have not changed. And they only had like 3,000 deaths.
Okay.
In all of China.
Okay.
but their cell phone usage, their cell phone numbers from their three major telecom companies are down over 21 million users in the last 3 months.
Okay.
So a lot of these people have two phones.
Yes.
Okay. They have one from the province they're from and one for work. So, and the Chinese use cell phones for practically everything. They pay their bills. They do, they got apps where they, give money back and forth. So they don't have physical money, but it goes from account to account, and, kind of like Venmo type stuff. And so they're down 21 million users.
Okay.
Well, if you cut that in half, that's, what? I don't know. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet their numbers of deaths are in the millions.
11 million.
Because you just don't drop 11 million accounts, 10 million accounts in 3 months. That's too weird.
No, it is. It is weird. So would that be because of the coronavirus? That's what you think?
Yeah.
That there's maybe more deaths.
And then they got satellite imagery of, the sulfur clouds, coming up over, China from all the crematoriums going, and all this stuff is all trackable with satellites and maps now. It's pretty crazy.
I love how people think that, they can hide things in this day and age. Like, it's getting harder and harder, but a lot of people and countries are still, well, if we say that things are happening a certain way, then it's happening a certain way,
Yeah. It's you're totally right on that one. I mean, you can't hide it anymore. We have too much technology. I mean,
well, just look at Russia. Look at North Korea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then you have like what Biden and Bernie at their debates. It's just they're yelling, "Google it, use the YouTubes, the tubules, the YouTubes.
Don't use Bing." Is that what you said?
Yeah. And even when they do get called out on hey, you said X. No, I didn't. I got you right here. Look, it's on this YouTube. It's on the YouTube. You were saying it.
I literally am watching you. Here, let me play for you. You saying this right here, right now. That's fake news.
Yeah, you want to go outside? You want to go outside? Oh, man, I wish that guy would have gone outside with that union worker, because he would have got pummeled.
Oh, yeah.
So do I have to say on air to make sure we are not responsible for all the conversation coming out of our mouths? Is that what I have to say to make sure we protect ourselves?
What do you mean not responsible?
No, I'm just in case we're saying something.
Each individual, each of these are opinions of the individual members of our station. It is not the whole view of our whole station. Yada yada yada. Pretty much. What we say is each individual person's view, not the station's.
So you're just reminding me, Twit, that we should do a commercial on that. Make sure that we're legal.
It's a learning process.
Learning process, everybody. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
The views of everyone on this show are views of the individual and not the views supported by this station.
Who just dropped it? Oh, okay. So, ladies, and thank you. How you doing, music? You're live on our show. Just to let you know, thank you very much, everybody. Akai, Pinkity Pie, Twit, for joining us, even if we were just a little bit out of the schedule. But we've done a great show. I really liked what we're going on. We've talked a lot about the debate of the corona to the president to everything. Don't forget, Akai, it was knowledge that I wanted to know. It's not because I'm naive, and it's not because I hate the president. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Say that.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and have a nice night. We are out.
Hey, Kai. Want to do some hardcore space engineers?
Huh?